Hello there, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of our Minecraft Starship series. This is going to be just kind of like a quick overview and introduction and explaining like what is this all about, why are we doing this. So, to start off with, I'm an old guy, right? So I grew up watching Star Trek, the original series, in the 1970s and the 1980s, and then Next Generation came around, and I really dug that, and I was into Deep Space Nine and Voyager. And something that I've thought about ever since I was a kid was, if I were to design a starship, what would it look like, right? How would I design it? What would it be? And obviously this is heavily inspired by Star Trek, especially Next Generation, but there's stuff in here that's from other science fiction universes, stories, whatever, and this is not really a quote Starfleet ship, okay? So let's talk about this. So as I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I play Minecraft with the kids, and you'll notice that they post some Minecraft videos here on the channel from time to time. And one day we were playing, and I mentioned this idea I had for a starship, and I said something along the lines of, you know, it's too bad that Minecraft looks so medieval, because you could totally design something like that in this. And they said, well, Dad, why don't we just get one of those texture packs? And so we looked into that, and what I ended up finding was a texture pack for Mass Effect that makes stuff look sci-fi. So that's pretty cool. So that's what we've been doing here. So I'm gonna be mostly using Star Trek terminology while I talk about this stuff. I'll mix in stuff from other sci-fi universes. So, for example, I might say transporter, I might say teleporter, I might say turbo lift or transport tube or whatever. So what this thing basically is a gigantic exploration and colonization ship, and it's got 9 decks. So deck 1 that you see here, this right here, this is the main bridge. So it's got obviously the helm and navigation and control. It's got the captain's ready room. It's got a conference room, very much like Starship Enterprise from Next Generation. Very heavily inspired by that. Decks 2 and 3 are going to be where the crew quarters are at. This is where sick bay is going to be located. You can kind of see down here. All of the crew quarters have their own holodeck in them. Pretty cool, right? Having your own holodeck in your quarters. There's also transporter rooms, there's science labs, there's recreation, and then there's like a big giant pub-like area right here off the front. So think of like 10 forward, basically, from the Next Generation. So that's the first 3 decks, and you can kind of see, working on deck 3 right here, we've laid out most of the rooms and stuff. So moving right along, decks 3, 4, and 5. This is the main hull. So this is where aux control is located. This is where the computer core is located. There's also, you see the construction crew. This is the mobs are turned on, and I'm not sure how to turn that off. It doesn't really matter. I just think of them as the construction crew, except for when they get in the way. But so back to what I was saying, main hull, aux control, computer core, security, maintenance, not to be confused with engineering, which is also on this deck, which is where the main engines and everything are located at. There is, get over here real quick and we'll show kind of main engineering area. And the shuttle bays are going to be back here. I haven't gone that far yet. This is part of the transport tube turbo lift system. We'll show a little bit more of that here in a second. But there's also going to be, so let me get in here and show you guys this. So what you're looking at here is not a shuttle bay per se. It could be used as one, but it's going to be a gigantic room that is a combination transporter room and, say, replicator, matter to energy to matter converter. So you would be able to build things replicate things gigantic, and then let's say a house, a 2-story house, and then you could teleport it directly to the planet's surface. You could also teleport something really huge if you wanted to and keep it inside here, right? So then moving right along, here's the bottom of that, so to speak. So decks 7 and 8 are basically going to be like decks 2 and 3. It's going to be crew quarters, but there's going to be like a massive sports complex kind of thing, and you'll be able to play futuristic sports like hoverball and zero-G soccer and whatever it is you want to do. Also, another important point about decks, going back to decks 4, 5, and 6. At the very front of it, there's going to be a gigantic biodome where there'll be trees and parks and a river and all kinds of stuff. That we haven't even started on that yet. I mean, as you can see, basically, I've got the frame of this thing built out, and I've been slowly adding to it the parts that I've imagined over the years, and leaving room as I go along, figuring things out. One of the weird things about Minecraft is that the scale seems kind of odd at times. When you get in close, things seem smaller. When you look at them from outside, they seem absolutely enormous. So the last deck that we'll have will be deck 9, and that's going to be where the photon torpedo / probes are at. And I'm going to show one last thing here before we move along, and that is the main turbo lift tube. So something else I should mention, specifically deck 5 is not really like living space. Deck 5 is all utilities. Deck 5, although it does have some stuff on it like security and aux control and access to the computer core, deck 5 is also where this horizontal shaft that leads from the middle to the back goes. But as you can see, you've got access to all of your decks from that. Here's a big transporter room. Again, I'm not going to go through showing all the rooms because we'll do that in other videos, but here's a transporter room. So the Mass Effect texture pack is actually pretty cool. So the paintings look like sci-fi sort of graphic display panels. The podium looks like control panels. That's pretty cool. You've got lights, all kinds of cool stuff. I'll go into the med lab just for a second. I think that's on another deck. Yeah. It's deck 2 where the med lab is. And again, I'm not going to do the full tour, but get a quick view of what's going on in here. The stuff, it does look really cool. I mean, if you think about how Minecraft usually looks, and I have seen a few people that have done some Starship or spaceship kind of videos and they don't have access to a texture pack, and good for them for being creative and using their imagination, but for me, it just wasn't worth it unless I could kind of look and feel like I was in a sci-fi universe when I designed the ship. So this texture pack has definitely accomplish that. Look at one of the science labs, part of it real quick. So there you have it. That's our introduction to our Minecraft Starship series. Again, so we'll continue as we build this thing to do updates, show other areas in more detail. And I don't know how long it's going to take. This could be a series that lasts less than a year. This could be a series that goes on for many years. We actually started on it before the pandemic and just kind of got busy with other stuff and sort of forgot about it. And we have recently done a lot of work. I usually will spend at least a few hours a week working on this. But you know how it is with Minecraft. It gets really tedious sometimes, just laying down floors, laying down walls, laying down ceilings, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I hope you guys are interested in this. As always, if you would like the video, I would appreciate it. Leave comments down there. Tell me what you think. Offer suggestions. I'm sure people that are into sci-fi that might watch this will think of some stuff that I haven't yet. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, that's a real easy way to keep up to date whenever we post new stuff. So thank you very much, and have a great day.